Of Homefry 21. Today we're going to talk about Xcom 2. Finally, after all this wait, we finally get a sequel. And it's everything for the first game we loved. All of the RNG what the fucks, whether it screws you or helps you. It's the same turn-based strategy, it's more in-depth, and it's everything we loved from the original XCOM, but they actually listened to the things we had to say and fixed them and made them better. It looks beautiful, it's a lot of fun, and I'm barely scratched the surface of it. I've been playing for like 3 days so far, and I haven't even touched it. There's a whole host of new enemies. In addition to some of our old favorites, the sectoids are a hell of a lot meaner and a hell of a lot scarier. First of all, the old ones were kind of came up to your knees and kind of just wanted to walk up to them and drop kick them. And the new ones are bigger and meaner. The Broodons look totally different and just as big, mean hulks of flesh. The Thin Men are still there. I'm not going to give any spoilers on that because they've changed them. This is set, I believe this game's set about 20 years after the original XCOM, and if you want to get the full story of what happened in the beginning between those 20 years to you, the commander, I entirely and fully suggest that you go through the tutorial. If you skip it, you're going to miss kind of a big chunk of storyline that'll kind of either make you cry or go, what the fuck? So you're going to want to run that. Central is still there. And in the tutorial, you actually get him as part of your squad, which is cool. Valen is kind of still there. There are some quests you go on that you actually get to figure out what happened to her. Your chief engineer is actually Shen's daughter, which is kind of cool. And there's some quests you go on to figure out what's going on with old man Shen. It's an uphill battle starting out. It's brutal. I mean, even on... Yes, I will admit this. I'm playing it on easy. Because even on normal, the first XCOM severely spanked me. So, I actually want to get through the game and enjoy it, not throw my controller through the TV or break it like Markiplier did playing I Am Toast. One of the things they did change, which is really, really cool, is as you progress with your soldiers, they gain ranks, and you can give them different abilities. If you kind of don't like how they're playing, you can actually send them in, and they will be unavailable for about 5 days, and they will completely retrain in whatever skill they rolled in. And remember in the first XCOM how you were kind of SOL, and you ended up with like a room full of newbies that were the same exact squad, and you only had like 1 or 2 of all the other classes. There is actually a way now which you can select which way your squaddies will progress. You can pick which class they become, which is very, very helpful. They fixed that, thank God. Psionics are still there, and this time they actually including something else to where you can actually hack the mechs in the game, which is really, really fun. And when you do so, it's not just like hit a button, RNG rolls a dice, and you're the winner or lose. This time you actually get, it's still RNG whether you're successful or not, but you can actually get bonuses for doing it. Intel, you can take control of them or just shut them down. So that's kind of interesting. The support class has been removed in place of the specialist, which has a little tiny mech flying around him, which does all of your things. There are 2 different ways you can build that. You can build them towards basically a straight medic or a combat drone, which is cool because they'll fly around and it'll like hover right above an enemy, build up, and then zap them with like a giant bug zapper, which is kind of funny watching. The shotgun class, I forget what it's called, has been replaced with the Ranger, which, hey, you actually get melee in this game, which the Ranger has access to, which is like a big giant machete, or if you get the DLC, you can actually get 2 axes, which one you can throw and the other one you can hit for a lot of damage, and they actually get upgrades in the game, which you can apply to them, which is nice, so you're not like getting these epic, awesome starting out weapons that become shit later on, that you can actually upgrade them and progress them, which is fun. They changed out the heavy for a demolitions expert, which you get a grenade launcher instead of a rocket launcher. And with some of the DLC, you actually get frost grenades, which are extraordinarily helpful because they don't do much of any damage, but they will freeze an enemy for 3 turns, which is very, very helpful with some of that big ugly shit. You can just freeze it and have everyone unload all the hell on them. Some of the enemies in this game have an unholy amount of hit points, which is not fun, especially if you're low level going on some of these missions and one of those things walks out the door, you're like, oh shit. They brought a whole host of new mechs into the game, which is kind of fun. They brought some parts of Enemy Within. If you download that, I suggest that as well. Really, really fun. With the mechs, which you actually go on a quest line to the quest line I was talking about earlier, which deals with Shen's dad. I'll actually give you a mech when you complete it. And unlike in the last game where you kind of just had a mech, here you go, you can actually when you send them on missions, they actually gain XP for different abilities, which is nice. What else is there? They actually completely retooled the the ship that your base is kind of embedded in. You can still like dig out parts of it. That way you can build extra rooms to help you on your missions. And it starts out, and if you actually throw an engineer in there to do it, it'll actually cut the time in half. And some of them you actually get the opportunity to throw a second one in. One thing that's kind of a bit odd and annoying is with your science. You know how if you got more scientists, the research time would drop. This one, not so much. It's kind of annoying unless you build labs and staff them, which is the only way that I've found out so far to actually drop them. Kind of annoying. And one of your base upgrades you can build will actually help if you staff it with a engineer. I guess they consider those engineers also to be medics. Interesting, which is kind of a bit weird. If you staff it, the heal rate of any of your wounded men will decrease, which is helpful. You don't start out like in the original Xcom, how you start out with like a country to start from, and as soon as you got that, you got the bonuses. This one, you just start out and you have to go through and actually collect all of those countries to get your bonuses. USA, if you complete that, you'll get a 30% increase to your research, as I just found out because I just finished that one up. You can actually launch, and also the every month you get like your allowance basically, and in this one it's kind of different. At the end of the month, you actually get a supply drop. They actually have to go over and sit on for about 3 days, which is kind of annoying if you're trying to collect that. Another ship popped up at the same time. It's a lot more micromanaging in whether or not it's actually a necessity to go out and complete a mission, either that or just risk it, say fuck it, and stay with what you're doing. There's still a lot of the damned if you do, damned if you don't, with how in the old one with in the first XCOM with abduction missions that popped up, you could pick like one of 3. And so you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And this one, it's the exact same thing, except instead of gaining panic in that country, it does a whole host of other things. Whether it's increasing the price of buying, you can actually buy in this one scientists and engineers. Another one, actually rather interesting. In each mission you start out in basically camouflage. They don't know you. They don't know you're there, and I actually tried once to stealth a mission, but as soon as I completed the objective, the alarm went off. So what you can do is like set all your guys up for Overwatch, pop one guy, and then as soon as they all scatter, everyone takes a reflex shot at them, which is very, very helpful with taking out squads of enemies. You actually get abilities for a couple of them that help you stay in the camouflage, the conceal. That way they don't know you're there, and you get the bonuses, which you actually get bonuses for your attacks, for the initial attack. This is XCOM 2. If I really want to go in depth, we'd be sitting here for about 20 minutes. So, if you love the original XCOM, get this thing. It's everything you loved, and all the problems you have with the original, they've made better. Fire Access has done an amazing job on this. It's epic, it's wonderful, it's beautiful. And another thing you can actually do is set up a character pool and like design your own character, and then in the game you actually have a chance of like finding them. Like ego here. I built one and named after me and kind of designed it to look all kind of badass. And when I started the game, I was actually in my own squad, which is really, really cool. Just like in the original, if you buy the DLC, you get more like just like different tweaks to how they look, which is really, really fun because some of the stuff that they included with that is awesome. Fire Access did actually a really, really good job with the first XCOM in your ability to change how your character looks. They actually went pretty in-depth with this, and with XCOM 2, it just got a hell of a lot more in-depth and a lot better. God, there's just so much to talk about with this game. I don't even know what to pick next. I've been trying to do this spoiler-free, so if I did actually touch on something that you were like, God damn it, I didn't want to know that, I wanted to find out for myself, I do apologize, and since this is YouTube, feel free to rip me apart in the comics and call me an asshole for doing so. This is YouTube after all, so y'all gonna do that anyway. So, once again, thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe. If you want me to review a game that you're kind of questioning, wondering whether or not you want to get it or not, and want my viewpoint, go ahead and drop a line in the comments, and I'll dig through my library or dig through Redbox and play it and drop a review and give you a shout out at the beginning of the next video. Home Friday 21 signing off. Have fun. Game on. Deuces.